Welcome back, friends. Now, so we talked in a detail about the mode of action of the aminoglycosides. Now, in this video, we are going to talk about the resistance which are activated against these drugs. Now, if we talk the resistance against these drugs, so there are many ways of the resistance. Means if this antibiotic, when we give this antibiotic, so then the bacteria growth or stop, then the bacteria will release some kind of the chemicals. These chemicals will send to some of the bacterial species, and due to this, the sending of this chemical to some of the bacteria, then what actually the bacteria do, the bacteria will produce resistance because due to the releasing of this chemical, and when the bacteria receive this chemical, then the bacteria know how they know that actually this antibiotic will affect it, and actually this antibiotic will destroy, and this antibiotic will target that site. So what actually happen in resistance? In the resistance, there are many ways of the resistance, but I'm talking about two important ways of the resistance. Not all of them. Two are the important, and some other resistance are not common and not very important. So the two resistance which are activated against these drugs, the first one is the alteration, or we can say mutation. What actually in mutation? As the drugs target this A site, then in this case, this let's suppose this is the ribosomes, this is the 51, and this is the 30. This is the 30S. Then what actually happen? This A site will be a slightly modify. This is the P side and this is the E side. So due to this slight modification of this A side, the drugs will not have the ability to bind to this area. So let's suppose this black one represents the drugs. So drugs will come and lose their affinity and kick out from that area. So this is the mode of action. So this is the resistance. This is the first way of the resistance. The drugs will come and they will lose their affinity, or they will lose their function, or they will lose their affinity, we can say, and then they will release, then they will kicked out from that area, because this A site is mutated, or we can say this A site is altered. So this is the first way of the resistance. The second way of the resistance which are activated inside a bacterial cell, this is about the plasmid associated enzyme synthesis. Now what actually happened in this second one case, this word means that there are the plasmid which is the resistance, which have the resistance ability. This plasmid will produce some kind of the enzyme, and these enzymes, let me write the name, these enzymes are the acetyl transferase, phosphotransferase, transferase. The third is nucleotransferase. So these are the enzymes which are released during the plasmid, from the plasmid. Now, due to the release of these enzymes, any one of them enzyme, not all these enzymes, any one of them enzymes will bind to the drugs. So this is, let's suppose, the aminoglycosides. So this will be the enzymes. Any one of the enzymes will bind. So when the enzymes bind to the drugs, then what actually happen? Three things. Any of the three things will happen. Which three things? The first thing is the degradation of these drugs, or lose of the function of these drugs, or the structure of these drugs will be changed. Due to this way, the antibiotic will no longer bind to this A site. So whenever the antibiotic, although this A site is free, but the antibiotic will not bind due to the addition of this enzyme. So this is the second way of the resistance. Although there are other way of resistance as well, if you remember efflux pumps also. So I'm not drawing here the efflux pump as well because I already explained it. So these are the way of the resistance which are activated against these drugs. Now, let me talk about the side effect of these drugs. Whenever we are still giving these antibiotic, although we know that these antibiotic are actually these antibiotic are resistance, or we can say these antibiotic are no show their mode of action, then there is side effect of this antibiotic as well. So which one side effect? So let me write here, because I have no space here to write. So let me write here. Side effect. The first side effect is loss of hearing. Loss of hearing. The second is ringing. Ringing in ear. The third is increased thirst. The fourth is skin rashes, and some other side effect also, but these are the common. So these are the side effect of these drugs. So now that's all about the aminoglycosides. So we talked the resistance, we talked the side effect, we talked the antibacterial spectrum, and we also talked about the mode of action of these drugs, and we also talked about the drugs, and as well as we talked the structure of the aminoglycosides. So I hope I explained it in a very detail, but still if you have some kind of questions related with this aminoglycoside, so write it into a comment. I will, inshallah, I will solve your problem, or I will give you answer as soon as possible. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video, and if you want to get more updates of the antibiotic, so then subscribe the channel. So when you subscribe the channel, then you will get more updates of the antibiotic drugs. Fine. So thank you so much.